Now for the answers to more of your requests. Back to You Asked For It.
There's nothing under the scorching sun can bring out the evil in a man quicker than a bad case of gold fever. He'll lie, cheat, steal, or kill another man. John Sutter and I both know we was a part of the galdingest gold rush the world has ever seen. Old Lady Fate works in mighty strange ways. She made Sutter a gift of millions in undiscovered gold, but that gift ruined his life and caused him to die of a broken heart. It all started here on the American River at a lumber mill built by Sutter and James Marshall. One January morning, Marshall found gold in the tail race of the mill and set the world on fire. This bell at the fort never did toll out the news, but word leaked out when the rush was on. This here engine brought hat merchants from New York. By Sacramento riverboat came students from Harvard, cattlemen from Texas. Perched atop freighters came actors from Jersey, rubbing elbows with rustlers from Kansas. The year 49 and the 49ers were both born in the same hot breath. On and on they came to this crazy gold country called California. Some never made it. Some died in their saddle. Others with their boots on in the gold camps. No telling what misery Sutter endured within the walls of his home. Squatters ignored his claims, and he lost his chance to be the richest man in the world. In his bedroom, he watched his life's work melt away before his eyes. Soldiers deserted this post. Sailors jumped their ships. Everyone had the same thought: gold. Out of a wilderness, towns sprang up wherever the glittering yellow could be found. Coloma, Whiskey Town, Downeyville, Sonora, Hangtown. Here in this general store, or wherever men gathered, stories of strikes were told and retold. Hey, listen to me. A man at Dry Diggins found $2,000 in nuggets under the doorstep of his shack. Oh, sure. And the fella I know was resting on a rock and found it to be pure gold. True stories, false stories, wherever men quenched their lusty thirst. Or waited for the blacksmith to shoe their horse. In 5 years, California gave up $165 million. And then easy gold was gone. Nothing just like it will happen again. It changed the lives and homes of thousands. Some for better, some for worse. It caused a state to be born. It created a proud legend about a breed of lusty Americans who'll be known forever as the 49ers.
The men and women who called themselves the 49ers were a sturdy, dramatic breed. They were the leading players in one of the most incredible, exciting gambles of all time. And this was the setting. They poured in here like a tidal wave. In fact, practically this very spot to try their luck. Well, we're here outside Sacramento at the request of Mrs. Helen Green, who sees us in Spokane, Washington. And she writes, "Our family would like to visit, by way of your cameras, the scene of the fabulous gold rush of 1849. If men still prospect in this atomic age, we'd like to see them work and learn more about them." Well, Mrs. Green, in this era of projected trips to the moon and atomic age, it's hard to imagine prospectors working as they did over 100 years ago, and yet the lives of these prospectors have changed very little. A century ago, miners dug their way into mountains armed only with a pick and shovel. Today's miners still use the same method. It's hard work and mighty slow going. Progress has introduced an easier way. This miner is using a pneumatic drill. Dynamite is placed in the holes and the tunnel is blasted away. Where once the Argonauts scrambled individually for gold, large companies have now made mining a paying operation. This huge monster is called a dredge. Water is being constantly pumped in for it to float on. As it chews its way forward, the lake goes with it. At the business end of this Goliath swings to and fro, huge buckets claw the earth and carry the mud and dirt inside the dredge. Huge agitating chambers shake up the dirt and separate the rocks. Then through a sluicing process and over a mercury trap which catches the gold. At the rear of the dredge, water returns to the lake and the rocks and waste are piled up. Dredging machines like this are capable of extracting millions of dollars in gold every year. Prospectors used to pan streams during the gold rush, and some of them still use the same technique today. The rocker method of mining dates back nearly as far as panning. The dirt is piled up, washed through and out of the rocker, leaving the gold behind, if there is any. In direct contrast to the rocker and the pan, more modern prospectors are using skin diving equipment to reach the untapped riverbeds of the Mother Lode country. They fill their buckets, then bring the contents ashore and pan it for gold. This has become such a popular new method, aqua shops have sprung up all over the area. This is a room most people have never seen, not even the prospectors themselves. Here, under intense heat, the gold is melted into a liquid, poured into a mold the shape of a brick. From here, it is shipped to a United States mint and, ironically, returned to the ground, this time in a vault. A gold brick worth thousands of dollars. Much of the gold taken out of California by the 49ers and today by more modern methods comes from this typical mining city of Placerville. They call it Placerville today. During the gold rush, its name was Hangtown. Today, a saloon stands in the spot once occupied by the Hangtown tree. Here, Horace Greeley once made a presidential campaign speech. Today, as in the past, prospecting is on everybody's mind in Placerville. 5 days ago, we sent word up into the hills that we wanted to talk to some prospectors. These are the men that answered our call. They laid aside their picks and shovels, put down their mining pans, and gathered in this camp. Hi, fellas.
Hi, guys.
Mind if I ask a few questions?
Oh, we don't care.
How long have you been a prospector?
70 years. A little bit more than 70.
John, how long have you been a prospector?
Oh, not very long, only about 50 years.
Oh, about 20 years off and on.
Well, I started when I was 8 years old.
About 50 years.
Oh, about 55, 60 years.
Say, Fred, why did you choose this kind of life?
I like it.
You like the outdoors?
Yeah.
Because I'm open in the open air and free. I don't have to dodge the sheriff all the time.
Well, I didn't exactly choose it. I retired from commercial life, and I'm living up this country, and I prospect off and on.
I used to play hooky at school, from school, and my dad had this big family, and I'd sooner stay home and help my dad mine to help support a family.
I was raised in the East, and I came out here when I was a young fella, and I had an uncle that was a prospector, and he took me out and showed me the ropes, and it was sort of fascinating. That's why I followed it.
You like the outdoor life?
I do.
Sam, did you ever strike it rich?
No, I haven't.
Never did.
No, I never did.
No, I never have.
You hope to?
Oh, I always live in hope.
Yes, I did. I hit it once right on the head. There wasn't much below it, though.
Do you have any family?
Family? Oh, I should judge, you mean kids?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
Got a wife?
No, no wife. I had one, but she died.
Yes, I have a wife and son.
No.
Well, no immediate family. I was never married.
No, sir.
Well, I got a couple of cats up home, and they're pretty damn good because, they keep the place free from mice and rats and all that.
And they're a little company, huh?
Oh, a lot of company, yeah.
How much can a good prospector make a year?
Well, I got a hole up in my, where I'm digging, and she's about 75 feet down, but I'm getting good-looking colors. I can't complain.
I've done a lot of mining and a lot of prospecting, and I just barely made beans.
You just have to keep looking. That's the only way you can do.
Most of the good stuff's gone. There's a lot of gold here, but It's mixed up with a lot of dirt, and it takes a lot of work to get it.
It all depends what kind of ground he's got.
You're right.
What's the one thing you don't like about being a prospector, or is there anything?
Well, no, there isn't. It's interesting, you know, and I kind of...
Man works a lot harder prospecting than he would for wages.
Well, I don't think there's anything I don't like about it.
I like it, but it's hard work. But you know, if the truth is known, it took $10 for every one was taken out. That's history.
Don't like being a prospector? Well, now, let me see. Doggone, I ain't thought of a thing.
You fellas ever bothered much by claim jumpers?
No, not that I know of, no.
I guess that's more in the old days, huh?
In the old days, sure.
I've had one or two jumped, all right, but I jumped them off of it with a gun.
It's been on the other foot. I try to do a little claim jumping myself once in a while.
Never had any experience or anything like that.
What would you do if someone tried to take your diggings?
Well, I don't know. I think I'd go and see a lawyer. That'd be the best way.
Well, I don't know. Try to chase him out, I guess.
Shoot him!
I might take a shot at him at that.
No, I'd give it to him.
Oh, you would, eh?
Yes, if he needs it worse than me, he could have it.
They say gold brings out both the good and the evil in men. What do you think?
I don't think it does. I think you get both of them.
Oh, I never gave it much thought. I've been pretty evil myself, generally, so I never bothered about it.
You can use it for good or for bad.
How about you? Would you really rather just look for gold than find it?
Well, I'll tell you this. Looking for gold is one thing, you know, to me, all I'm looking for is what's in the next shovelful. I don't care what I've already got out.
Fellow naturally likes to find it to get some of the comforts of life out of it, but I don't know if it makes a whole lot of difference.
I looked for gold to find it, to make a living. If I found more, well, all the better.
If you really struck it rich, do you suppose you'd change your way of life at all?
I've might have enjoyed it better when I was a young fellow, but no, I think I'd just go along the way I am.
Not a bit. Not a bit.
If I really struck it rich, well, I'd take it out and spend it, you know, let everybody have a good time. And
I'd live just the same as I do now.
It wouldn't change me a bit.
If I had $1 million, I wouldn't change.
Thank you, fellas. So long. Bye. Well, Mrs. Green, you've seen how a prospector lives. You've heard how he thinks. This handful of humanity, these rugged seekers of gold, prove that the spirit of the 49er still exists. Nor will it ever die. It's a state of heart and a frame of mind. It's now and forever. It's a spirit that will continue to exist long after these men have given up the battle with Lady Luck in their everlasting search for gold.